So how do we work aloes into our garden, and most importantly, why should we have them and what benefits do they give you? Number one, you don't need to have a really big garden in order to have aloes. Thanks to some clever breeding, they have formed and they have bred and created and selected small aloes that work beautifully in small gardens and in large gardens. So when you get one of these little guys, first of all, you're going to look at the price and say, wowza! Am I going to pay that for one plant? And yes, you are, because I'm going to show you how you're going to get more out of this, because they are just so beautiful, tough, don't need a lot of water, love the sun, and seriously low maintenance, like a good relationship. This is about getting more out of your garden, because here's the main plant. So there's the big daddy. But look on the sides here, babies, more babies, more babies. So we've got some options here. Either we can plant this in the garden, let it do its thing, or we can be a bit sneaky. This is where the fun comes. So pop it on its side, give it a squeeze, and with that, it should just pop out. There we go. Out of the pot. And here we've got the start of what we're going to do. Now, what I want to do is just tease the soil over here and get as much of the soil off this plant. Bang it around a bit. You know, plants are really tough. So we get all that off and we reveal all the roots. And now we're going to get in here and we're going to start removing these babies. Now, when you start taking these off, please don't stress yourself out. If you take it off and there are no roots on it, don't worry. These guys are as tough as nails. It will develop roots as long as you've got some leaf surface. So if you're going to take your secateurs and you've got a little guy like this, and he's going to be quite tricky. So just grab the point over there, pop it in between the plants, just work it down a bit, and you can actually hear it cutting through the roots, and then you can pop it out. And there we have it. One baby, another baby. And you're going to be amazed at how many we're going to get out of this. And so these are all the babies that I'm left with. Absolutely awesome. 10, 12, probably 15 little guys that I know in no time at all, couple of months, they're going to be big brothers just like this. So what are we going to do with these? Well, these are going to go, this big guy, he's going to go into my garden. But how do we look after these little babies? So, yeah, we can just take them and put them into a little pot each and wait for them to grow up a bit and do something. But we could do something a little bit more funky with them. We're going to need some potting soil. We're going to need some silica sand. This is wonderful sand to use in any mixture when you're using succulents or aloes or plants that require good drainage. So we're going to mix some of that, probably about a third of this, to 2/3 of potting soil. We've got some drainage pebbles and we've got some Humigrow, which is a good carbon-based soil food conditioner. And that just helps to release all the other nutrients, helps with water storage, water drainage, and just generally improve your soil. Let's open up this bag of potting soil and pop it into my truck. Pop in the silica sand and we add in 2 or 3 teaspoons of the Humigrow. All we got to do now, give it a good mix together. Mixture is perfect. Take a look here. See, the silica sand is all mixed in beautifully into your potting soil. You can't really see the difference, and that's what we want. We know that it's good to go. So in go the pebbles into this lovely low bowl, and we're going to add in some of our mixture. And because there's not much roots and soil, because we've removed them all, you can fill this almost right to the top, because we're just going to be making little holes over here. So get it not quite to the top, so you can still put your hand in there, but when you put your other hand on top, that you still are below the lip of the pot, because that makes all the difference for when you're watering. The water, instead of just spilling over the edges, can actually get taken into the pot where it all matters. Now, because these are little young uns, some of them have got a really long root. Not necessary. We don't need all of that, because can you imagine trying to fit this, all of this root? I'm going to have to dig a really big hole to get it in here. But there's no need for that, because what I'm going to show you is just that. Prune it off. You don't need all of that root. Where I've pruned it, we are now going to start the the plant will immediately start producing new fine root hairs there. That's what they do. So start off with one in the center, Mr. Fenter. Pop that little baby in there, small little hole, firm it round. And we're leaving a space of about 7 centimeters, 7 to 10 centimeters in between them, just so that their little leaves are just touching each other. Because when they grow up, this is just going to be a mass of aloes. So when you started your planting and you've kind of got your rhythm, really important to remember that you don't want to plant your next little guy directly opposite that one. Directly opposite. No. The reason why you actually want to do it is to give the plant a bit more space. So what we do is we're going to put it in a triangular form. You see there? 1, 2, 3. There's my triangle. Now, because they don't have that many roots, they're going to be a little bit wonky in the beginning, but don't stress about that. Take the back end of your trowel here, in between your soil, just so that they got something just to hold them up. Look at that. Isn't that looking cool? From one big plant to a beautiful mass. I'm going to grab some gravel and we're going to pop it around. And what that's going to do is just finish it all off. Beautiful, even surface. Remember, gravel does a whole lot of things. Number one, it looks really great. It's a beautiful surface. It's a neutral surface. Not only that, it helps for when you're watering. It stops the soil from jumping out. And it also helps to keep moisture in our pot. So there you have it, guys. From one plant, we have now created an entirely new look. These guys are going to settle in. We're going to give them a good watering, give them a bit of plant food. Remember, anything in a pot, whether it's an aloe or a succulent or a flowering plant, still needs food. So give it some food. You dilute it into water, pour it over the top, and I'm going to find a gorgeous spot for this in the garden. Remember, lots of sun and a nice hot area, because that's what they love. And let's go and find this little guy a place to live. So how easy was that to make more of what you got? Remember, if you want to find out more about gardening, teach yourself a bit, learn some tricks, hints and tips, then go to the Builders SA YouTube channel and you can find out a whole lot more on how to be a better gardener.